Your Own Risk, the Co-Pilot podcast is back after a couple weeks that I've been pretty busy out there, and life sometimes gets in the way of getting these things done. But I am fresh. Just today's Sunday, and yesterday was Saturday, and I got to run the San Felipe 250, the 2025 San Felipe 250 Score International race, and it was a blast. I had a ton of fun. I will say maybe I might go a little long on this one. Maybe I won't, just because I have a lot to cover. And one of the things I really want to say is how much I appreciate everybody that comes up to me, and encourages me and supports me in doing this podcast, where I just share basically, what it is, my experiences, what I do. I know sometimes it may get boring. Maybe let's keep listening to me of what I got to say, but I'll say it anyway. One of the things I will say again, it was a blast to be able to race the San Felipe 250, and really, after that many miles, I'm really not beat up. I feel pretty good. I could probably still have gone more miles out there, if it were a longer race. I will say that definitely being in one of those Brenthel trucks, the suspension, I know we were using King shocks on the truck I was in. And the truck I was in, by the way, was, the Ziegler brothers. David Ziegler is the owner of that truck. And, I was graciously invited to once again race with them. I raced with them at the Parker race at the beginning of the year. And he was nice enough to offer me, another opportunity to race with him again. And I really, I can't thank him enough for the opportunity, and the trust that he puts in me to give him, some direction from the co-pilot seat. And it was just the truck was an awesome. It was number 15T. So if you do have any videos or photos, and want to tag me, tag Copilot Mafia, tag Daniel Plaza 1 on Instagram, or Ziegler Brothers Racing, anything you got out there, that I can share, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm sure the Ziegler team would as well. But again, there's a lot for me to cover about the San Felipe 250. I know from from running into everybody, all the people that I saw out there, looked like it was a great time for everybody most of the time. There were some issues obviously out there, of people that were broken down. I've also read that some people ran out of fuel. So it was a tough race, definitely because of the sand. You end up probably burning a little bit more fuel than normal. But again, I got to thank David Ziegler for the opportunity to navigate for him and get us to the finish line. Again, I got to say that the Brenthel team did a great job of prepping that truck. Obviously, there's some things that are going to happen, and I'll get to that as far as how our race went. But overall, the Brenthel team, the Brenthel, everybody at the facilities, just doing an awesome job of getting those things prepped and ready when it comes to race day. So I did get to race in a trophy truck. This was my first time ever racing the San Felipe 250. I had never raced that race before in my 15 years. I had raced other score races, but I had never actually been offered to race the San Felipe 250 until now. And on top of that, for me to be able to race the San Felipe 250 in the trophy truck class was another first for me. And it was huge for me and my part, only because personally, that was the first race that my father ever took me to, as far as in Mexico. It was the San Felipe 250, and it brought a lot of memories back for me, of just having my dad taking me to that event and seeing all these trucks and everything, the spectacle of what it is. Obviously, if you're a fan and know that that it gets crazy out there. There's a lots, tons of fans. It was interesting. Well, first I'll finish that. That obviously my dad took me there, so it was very emotional for me to be at that place for that race, in particular the San Felipe 250, which was where my dad first took me as a kid. Early, 14, 15-year-old kid, going to those events with him and the race team that he helped in the Class 7 truck. So that's where I got my first glimpse of off-road racing, and just um, the big teams that were out there, and that um, that as a child I just wondered what it would even be like to be a part of a trophy truck team, and be a navigator or even racing in one of those things. And again, I thank God for him instilling the talents that he gave me, and knowing that I need to stay humble and keep working on my craft. If that's what I want to do, I do enjoy it. I take it very seriously. I love it. And again, I just I'm so thankful that I kind of check that off my bucket list of races that I had not been able to do yet. And number two was, getting it to do in a trophy truck. Who doesn't want to do it in a trophy truck? I mean, that's the top class that you want to be a part of. And I just can't say enough of how awesome it was to be given that opportunity to um, be a part of a team and be in David Ziegler's team was awesome. And again, I really appreciate his trust in my ability, and just I can't say enough about how great it was for me to spend almost a week out there, and to be a part of it, and do everything. So another thing I do want to say is we did use Baja Brian's notes when it came to the race. And I don't know if I'm giving out a secret, but running his notes made all the difference. I mean, there's still obviously things the terrain is going to change, and things will be moved, especially rocks. So some of them are a little bit harder to avoid, but overall, we were in a great spot for what we were doing at the time. Before, again, I'll start breaking down the how our race went, as close as I can mile per mile. But I will say kudos to Baja Brian for the awesome notes. And if you're ever looking for anything to help your team, um, have a better, clear vision of course, I would recommend you go out and seek some information from Baja Brian. You can find him on Instagram, under Baja Brian, and reach out to him and ask him if you have any questions about the way he does his notes. I think they can be very beneficial to a lot of teams if you know how to read them and understand it. So again, I got to give huge kudos to Baja Brian for the great notes, and just finding some of the really good lines out there, which everybody's doing. So it's not like, but he definitely really helps get you just a little bit of an edge when it comes to that. So at least I believe so. So you can always, like I said, check with him, and if you have any other questions, you can even message me. I can tell you about some of it as well. But obviously, there's a lot of there's plenty of people out there that can help you as far as notes and all that stuff. But I really appreciate and enjoy the way Baja Brian does his stuff. So, but anyway, so I'll get to the race. As far as the San Felipe 250, I went out there and had the chance to pre-run with David for, I think it was a total of 4 days. We went on a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, that I could get over there, and did a couple laps of the course, mapped a couple of things of our own, just to make sure we were synced up with Brian's notes, and um, then I had to come back and do some work. But then I headed back over and did another 2 days of pre-running before race day, because I think even Friday we were still pre-running the day before the race. So and so everything went good as far as registration, and then we got to qualify on Thursday. Went out there. It was a pretty cool course. I think it was Score did a great job of laying it down. One of the things I think I will get into as far as the qualifying is that during the spec truck qualifying, Abdali Lopez got penalized for going off the course or something like that. And one of the things that me as a navigator, I'm going to defend as far as what Abdali and his navigator did, because one of the things we're told constantly is you got to hit the VCPs, you got to hit the VCPs, and you got to hit the VCPs. That's what penalizes you. So when it comes down, and I'm not against whatever. The cool thing was for me, with Abdali being a part of the Brenthel teams, one of the cool things for me was that I spoke to Abdali, and he took the penalty. He said, "You look, if that's what they want to do, I'll take it. I won't even argue it and leave it at that." And which I think that's huge. I think some people would have probably tried to dispute it, but he didn't. He took it like just said, "Hey, if that's what they're gonna call down on him, good. He'll take it." But one of the things I will say when it comes to, and I think the more you understand of racing in the situation of the seat, not just where you're, keyboard warrior. One of the things I will say that when it comes to that, we're told to hit VCP to VCP. Now, when you go to qualify, it's not like they specifically, they Score or anybody gives you a specific course that you have to run when it comes to qualifying. So if you tell me I was off the course by 20 feet, if I'm going from VCP to VCP, you didn't give me a course that I can't deviate from. So in that idea of that he went off the course by 20 feet, but he hit the VCP, then I don't understand why he got penalized for going off the course when you have not given me a course. There is no course when you go to qualify. Literally, there's VCP to VCP, and there's somewhat of a course out there that takes you from VCP to VCP. But I think that if there is no course that Score is actually going to physically give you, put it in your GPS and tell you this is the course, you better stay within 20 feet of it. Okay, then I give you, okay, if I'm 20 feet off the course, penalize me. But if you tell me, okay, you're going from VCP to VCP and there's somewhat of a course, and I hit every VCP within the 20 feet, but you're going to penalize me for going off the course somewhere after the VCP to VCP, I don't think that's right, because you never gave me a literal course that you wanted me to stay on. So that's my debate on that part. I think it was wrong of them to do that to him. And again, that's just my opinion. Everybody's going to have their own. My opinion as a navigator for 15 years with experience, I'm telling you, if you don't give me a literal line that I need to stay within 20 feet of that line, then you're just telling me I need to go from VCP to VCP. I'm going to figure out a way to get there the quickest, whatever the straightest line is. So on that end, if you ask me, I think that was, that wasn't the right call, because he is the VCP. Now, apparently somebody, there was a complaint or something about it. Again, I think that was wrong, but that's my opinion, because we're not given a specific line that we need to stay on within 20 feet. You're going from VCP to VCP. End of story. So on that end, I don't agree with what happened there. But the cool thing was that Abdali was perfectly fine to accept the penalty, and I don't think he did anything wrong. So if and on his part, his navigator is trying to find point A to point B the fastest, but they don't give you a legit line to follow, then you should be able to go from VCP to VCP no matter what way you get there. So unless, and I hope somebody has some opinion about this and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong that if I'm not given a specific line or course to stay on during qualifying and I can't be out 20 feet from there and I just go from VCP to VCP the fastest way I can, I don't know where the problem is that. So I think that's wrong. I think that was wrong. If somebody doesn't agree with me on that, please message me, send me something, tell me, hey Daniel, you're wrong. This is why. And the crazy thing is, I do remember when I qualified that lap. That I do remember when at the start they did have a yellow piece of paper up front that they showed the driver and navigator stay 20 feet from course, which I'm like, okay, 20 feet from course. There's a course out there that they've marked because they want you to go from the VCP to VCP, but you didn't give me a map that says this is the course. You just took me out along a path you made from VCP to VCP, but you didn't give me a file to put in my computer that says this is the course that you need to stay within 20 feet of. That's my only argument, is that you needed to stay within 20 feet of that line, but we didn't have one. We didn't. It's like SCORE did not give us a line before we went out there. So I think what they did, I commend them for what they did. They figured out a way to get from the fastest point from one VCP to the next VCP, but because they got off the supposed course, we didn't know what the course was. So that's my only argument on that. Again, it's done. The race is done. Abdali unfortunately had issues and didn't, finish it. But on that aspect, that means that the next race is it going to be the same? You better not get off the course that they're telling you. Again, but we're told to race from VCP to VCP, whichever way is the fastest. So that's. I know I got on a side tangent here on this thing, but I think it's important to note what happened because, as far as a navigator, a co-pilot, I kind of be bummed if I did that to my guy and then we got penalized because I'm thinking this is smarter. I didn't get a course. You didn't give me a file that shows me a legit line of where I'm supposed to stay within 20 feet. That's all I'm saying. So I'll leave it at that. So again, we went to qualifying. We qualified 14th in our class, and it was pretty beat up by the time we got to it, and I think everybody else behind there too. After looking at some of the videos, it seemed like everybody was really really struggling, especially if you were a 2-wheel drive. The 4-wheel drive trucks looked like they were taking the course great, but again, 2-wheel drive was a little different. It was a lot more beat up, and we ended up, 14th. I think starting 28th overall on the race day. So, but we were pretty happy with what we did. We did the best that we could with what we had, and I think the other thing also on that truck with David Ziegler was that was his first race in a trophy truck class with a new motor, because he basically, changed his spec truck to a bigger motor so he could race in the trophy truck class, and he's getting used to that truck still. So again, we had a great day of qualifying. That was great. Pre-running was awesome. Ran into a bunch of people out there and had a lot of fun. So race day comes along, and again, this is my first time racing the San Felipe 250 and in a trophy truck class. So I was a bit nervous to get started, and I had to remind myself that I've done the navigation job plenty of years, and I had really nothing to worry about. It's just another day in the office of what you do and what you know how to do. So, so I got in, strapped in, and we're going. The funny thing about it was, while I think Saturday morning when we're driving around taking the truck to the start, um, it was kind of insane to see how many people show up to that race. I mean, you see it on TV, you see it on, on the live feed and everything else, and nothing really prepares you until you see the magnitude of people that are out there in San Felipe for this event. It almost seemed like it was the Daytona of Mexico. Just the amazing amount of thousands of people that were out there, um, getting ready, just on the side of the course, to watch all these trucks and UTVs and motorcycles and everybody take off into the desert for this race, and the inaugural race of the season for the Score International Off Road Racing season was just a great, mind blowing, like insane. And so, again, at the same time, in thinking that, I had to make sure that I pulled myself in and realized that, look, there's going to be a lot of people, but there's a job to be done. And that was, I was fortunate that I was able to do that and pull myself back and say, hey, you know what, just go racing. You know what you're doing. So, again, we took off, and, we started, I think one of our biggest things, even talking to David Ziegler, was the anticipation of getting to Zoo Road and wondering what that was going to look like in at full speed, with people, um, just inches away from a truck that's barreling down this road of just whoops at enormous speeds that you're hoping you don't lose control of the truck. That's the only thing that and so I know that we were anticipating, as far as what that was going to look like, when people are waiting to see the trophy trucks come through that road. And that's what they're there for. They're waiting. And it really, just is on another level when you get to that road. I will say, that I'm very fortunate that I don't have to look at the road that much, because I'm telling, the driver what speeds, what we got to look for. If there's some rocks that we got to watch out for, even on Zoo Road, there's some rocks that we got to look out for. So, um, I will say and admit, here on my podcast, that it got to a point where there's so many people that I stopped looking out. I did not want to look out at the amount of people that were out there. I I was just focused on my Lowrance, what speeds I needed to be at, if there was anything that I needed to worry about, and to let the driver know. And I looked up very little. I did not want to look up. It was crazy to see the amount of people, and literally people in the middle of the road, as you're barreling straight through at full speed in the middle of the road. They know you're coming, and they're just standing there with their phone or GoPro or whatever the heck they're doing, and they're literally just standing there. And I'm thinking, like, dude, you better move. We're not stopping. We're at full speed here, and they're just opening up like the Red Sea. Like, people are just running to the sides. People are running across. Like, I remember seeing a guy run across farther up ahead, and thinking, like, dude, I hope that guy doesn't trip, because, like, we're just going at full speed, and you're going at full speed. The truck's doing its job, and you literally just see people right and left, boom, 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 like zooming right through you. And to the point, I remember, farther ahead, there was like three, two ladies and some guy, and they had their camera, flipped back for like a selfie while our truck is going, and they're on the driver's side, And I could have swear if they would have stuck their hand out, they could have touched the truck. That's how close they were. And we're going full speed, 80, 90 miles an hour on just big, massive whoops. And these people aren't even looking to see if we might run out of, the truck might do something that unexpected. But they didn't care. They were like, flip the camera, do a selfie with a truck blowing right by them at 90 mile an hour, and they're not even looking. It was insane. The whole thing was insane. Am I glad I got to be a part of it? Hell yes, I'm glad I got to be a part of it. But the insanity of just that many people when you're in a trophy truck, and I'm sure, maybe other people are like, oh, I've done it 20 times. It's no big deal. You got to remember, this is my first time being in a trophy truck and being at the San Felipe 250, knowing that people are there for Zoo Road to see what happens at Zoo Road and all its glory to say. And dude, it's insane. It is insane. I'm like, my respects to those people that are out there doing that, enjoying it, watching it. Uh, but it's dangerous. It is incredibly dangerous to be on the side of that road. And I'll post a video like either today or tomorrow of some of the camera that I got, the footage of how close these people are. There's no debating it how close they were. Incredibly close, almost too close, with no fence, no nothing. It's just a machine barreling through huge whoops, 90, 100 miles an hour, whatever. I'm sure that the all-wheel drivers are going even faster than that. So, um, again, it was just crazy. So we got through all that. We got through Zoo Road. We got down to the course, kept moving along. And the only issue we had, well, no, I'll say only issue. First issue we had two issues. First issue we had was, I think a little bit after Matomi Wash. It just gets rocky out there. There's a lot of rocks, and you can do the best. You don't want to slow down too much, but you don't want to be going too fast. So I felt like we were going at a good speed, and unfortunately, we still clipped a rock. It disintegrated the wheel, the left rear wheel, disintegrated the wheel. I mean, it was just pieces left, like just hanging on, like while the tire and wheel, everything was just destroyed. So we pulled over, and as I got out to change the tire, there was another issue. I could see some oil, so David jumped out, and he was checking out the rear diff, and somehow we punched a hole through the back somewhere on there, and it was leaking oil slowly from the rear diff. I'm changing the tire, put the tire on, and David, was smart enough to grab the rag that I had to wipe our lenses and stuff. Grab that thing and grab some Gorilla Tape and pretty much kind of patched the hole with that rag. Wrapped a bunch of tape on it, and hopefully we hadn't lost too much oil. I think we were about, I know we were 160, so 160, we were about mile 135, I think, 130, 135, because we had about 25, 30 miles to go to 160, which was where we were going to do the main pit, fuel, change tires, anything else at 160. So we had about 30 miles to go. So it was about 130. And we taped it up, and we kind of took it a little easy on the truck, just because we didn't know how much oil. We didn't feel like we lost a lot of oil. Plus, we didn't know how well that rag with the tape was going to hold up. But we made it to 160. The Brenthal team then, started checking everything. Oh, the one thing that was worse about that was somewhere during the race before that, our top or our antenna got ripped off at some point. So we didn't have an antenna. We had no radio communication, even though when we did try to communicate and let them know what was going on, nothing was going out. We didn't have an antenna to help us out. So we kept going. We knew we were going to get to 160, and then the team could assess kind of what was going on with the truck and the rear diff and what they could do to fix it. So lucky for us, whatever job David did, um, it held up. It didn't leak anything after that. I mean, the rag wasn't wet after we kind of wrapped it with a bunch of tape, so everything was good. The guys added a little bit more diff oil, got us new tires, fueled us up, and they pretty much put more tape on it on the rear diff, and sent us on our way. So they send us on our way, and we got passed by a couple people when we were limping the truck. So we got passed, by a couple trucks that we not in our class. I think they were spec trucks, but so we kept going, and we felt pretty good once we got back with enough oil, and everything felt good. The truck didn't feel like we didn't hear anything weird out of it. So we kept going, and unfortunately for us, at mile 224, we broke the rear right spindle. We just like sheared it in half somewhere inside, and so we or the rear axle is what we sheared off, and so we pulled over, and we were only the left rear was the only one turning. The right side, it didn't have anything to move. So, and with it being so soft out there, where we were at 224, we were able to find a spot that had some rocks and hard packed surface, and we so we were broken down there at 224, and pretty much 25 miles to the finish line. I mean, we thought we were almost there, and we felt like we were doing really good as well. I think we were in a good spot. I haven't heard what position we were in, but I know we were in a good spot as far as before that. Um, so we wait there, and we finally get some parts. And before this, actually, too, we had lost our somehow we had lost our tool bag. I think after David had tried to fix it with after we fixed it with the rag and the tape. I think he got something out of that bag, forgot to put the bungee cords back on it. So we lost the tool bag. So we didn't have any tools when we were broken down. And then we got kind of lucky. There was another Class 10 car that literally broke its rear CV axle, like right next to us, like on the other side of this wash. And so I went over there and borrowed some Allen wrenches just to start doing some work on the truck and get it ready for the new axle. And so, I appreciate those guys letting us borrow their tools because we didn't have any. And so we got it all ready. Parts showed up. The truck was pretty much in pieces by then. And luckily, we just slipped everything back in. Unfortunately, it did take a while because we had to borrow an axle or parts from another one of the rental trucks that they had at a trailer back at the hotel. So it took a while for them to get over there, get the part off, and then try and get it out to us. So they did. We got that fixed, and then finally we got to the finish line a little bit. I think a little after 7 o'clock, which put us back about 3-4 hours while we had expected to finish. And with it only being 25 miles, it was kind of a bummer sitting out there and knowing how close we were to the finish line. But again, we got it fixed, and got it back running to full speed. Got some oil back in it, and made it to the finish line. So that was an accomplishment on its own. Sometimes just getting to a finish line of any Baja race is an achievement in itself. So again, it was pretty awesome. I got to say, David's brother Paul is an awesome guy, and it was great to see him when the parts finally showed up and put that thing together and helped us out. And I just got to commend Paul for being such an awesome brother to his brother David, because it's awesome to see that kind of friendship in two brothers like that. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool, man. I feel very blessed to be given an opportunity to be a part of that, and to see them interact is funny as hell. And so so I just Funny thing is, they actually took some pictures out there with the broken axle, like they were sword fighting and stuff, and I thought that was freaking crazy because I'm like, let's get the truck fixed and get the hell out of here. But it was funny to see them out there and in that element, um, of that kind of brother, that relationship that they have. It's pretty cool, and so I'm glad I was get to be a part of it. I'm a true believer that everything happens for a reason, and that things are meant to be a certain way for a reason, and that God has a bigger plan for all of us. So it's nice to see people that still find some joy even in a tragedy like that, where you could have had such a better outcome, but you say, you know what, it is what it is. Let's have fun with it, and that was pretty funny to see. I'm really impressed of how awesome a relationship those two have. So so that anyway, so we got to the finish line, and there's still a lot of people out there. Man, the finish line at the San Felipe 250 is on another level as well. I don't know if it's because we got there so late and everybody was pretty sauced up already, but man, those people like to have a good time, and to be a part of it, get to the finish line, was pretty cool. I did have somebody on the one of the spectators offer me a finisher beer, a Tecate, ice cold Tecate, and that was fun, to be a part of that, and to just be take it all in, and enjoy the event, the time, and the everything that they do. So again, I got to commend Score International for doing an awesome job. The course was awesome. I think it's what it's intended. It's off road racing. It's not it's not a like not a paved road race course or anything like that. It's off road racing. It's meant to be tough. It's meant to test your metal. It's meant to give your best in any opportunity, no matter what it is, and to test your wits and your everything about you, to figure out a way to get to the finish line. So the awesome job that um, that Paul Ziegler did to bring us parts and help us get this truck moving back again was awesome, and got the sucker put back together. Took her to the finish line, and here I am telling you about the awesome adventure I had racing with the Ziegler brothers racing, and my first experience in a trophy truck, number 15T, with David Ziegler. And dude, I'm hooked. Um, I hope the opportunity presents itself again, and I get to be in a trophy truck again someday. And but for now, I mean, I'll keep doing what I do. I'm not committed to any team at this point yet. So I do know the only other thing I'm committed to right now is racing the Nora 1000 in about 20 days, I think 18, 20 days, which is insane because I didn't think it was coming up that quick. But and that'll be with Jim Greenway in his 1600 car, believe it or not. So that's fun. I mean, it's racing, it's off road, it's what I love. It's being given that opportunity to do something out in the desert, navigating and getting people to the finish line, which whatever way I can, whether it's helping to be a mechanic or doing, just the navigation part of it. It's a blast. I love it, and I am so blessed to be given that opportunity, and to be have the talents on loan from God that that provide me for those opportunities to do those things. And again, the people that rely, depend, and trust me to do that is just awesome. I can't tell anybody and everybody that I've been able to navigate for, that I don't take that for granted. Man, those are memories that I will never ever forget, and they are only made possible because these people have given me that opportunity to do so. And I really appreciate that. It's and all the people that I run into, all the people that I see, all the people that encouraged me to be doing this thing that I don't know if people really listen through the whole thing, but um, it's just fun for me. I love it, and I really just I'll keep doing it. I mean, I'll start sharing other stories, obviously, as we get ready for the Nora 1000. I'll start sharing maybe the stories from my first one again, and other things that I can help anybody out with, navigation purposes, co-piloting. Again, like I always say, if you have any questions, comments, anything else that you want to share, that you need me to share with you, you can always find me on Facebook, Daniel Plaza. You can find me on Instagram, Daniel Plaza 1, or you can always find me even easier, Copilot Mafia, on Instagram or Facebook, and send me a message, send me a note there, and I'll help you in any way I can. That's what I feel, that God has given me a purpose that to do that and help those that need it. So again, I think I'm pretty much wrapped up as far as how my San Felipe 250 went. Luckily, I thank God that He kept us safe and allowed us to get to the finish line, and He got me home safe, to my family and my loved ones. So again, I won't go any further, because I think that's pretty much all I have about the San Felipe 250. And I hope that if you were out there, I hope you had a blast watching all the trucks go out by there. And I appreciate, again, those that encourage, support me. If you have any questions, concerns, anything else, send them my way, and I'll do what I can to answer any questions or anything else. But for now, that's all I got to say. I hope everybody has a great new week, and we'll see you next time. As I'll keep doing these at your own risk podcasts as much as I can. If I get a little busy, apologize for that, but life gets in the way. So, but again, everybody, have a great week.